Hey guys, Mike with Gettin Greasy Garage. And yes, we have another LS. This is a 5.3 liter third gen LS that supposedly came out of like a 2003 Chevy pickup or a Suburban, something like that. Supposed to be like 150,000 miles on this thing. It was a runner, and I don't know much more than that. So this came through my son, through his half-brother, buddy. Somebody bought it, was going to put it in something, and they got overwhelmed with the technical side of swapping in an LS and fuel injection and all of that. So we scored it for $100. And even if it isn't a good motor, it does have decent heads on it. Let's see if we can see the casting number here in the light. Yeah, they're like 263s, something like that. I don't know where in the hell they put that number. I don't know. I'll get more in depth into that later. But anyway, didn't come with an intake or a computer harness, none of that stuff. I did get coil packs with it, front harmonic balancer, and a flex plate. So no intake, nothing like that. Does have a pan on it. This is a truck pan. So I'm kind of thinking, and I want your guys' input on this, is to, of course, do this on a budget. Don't know really what I'm going to pick for a budget. I think I'd just go about building it as cheap as I can. I think we tear this thing down, inspect all the bearings, everything, rings, pistons, all that, check the bores. Main thing is that we try to avoid doing any machine work, because machine work is ridiculously expensive, like everything else nowadays. I'm kind of envisioning, what would you do back 25, 30 years ago, before LSs were popular? What would you do to, say, a 350 Chevy? Say you bought a 78 Chevy Caprice for a motor, had a good running 350 in it. What would you do to that motor before you stuck it into your Camaro or whatever? Doesn't matter what. Well, you'd probably pull it apart, check everything out, re-grease or re-gasket everything, put a cam in it, cam lifters, valve springs, all that, new gaskets, paint it up, and then you would probably stick a aluminum intake on it with a 4-barrel and a set of headers. So I think that's what we're going to do with this one, is just kind of old school hot rod it. These motors make like 300 horsepower stock, so that's a good starting point. I would like to try to shoot a little higher, like for around 500 horsepower, naturally aspirated. I don't want to do turbos. I don't want to do a supercharger. I don't even really want to throw nitrous at it. Depending on what pistons it has, we could upgrade it to 4.8 flat top pistons to bump the compression ratio. Maybe a set of Gen 4 rods for stronger rods in case we want to wring the hell out of this thing. And then, of course, do something pretty radical with the camshaft. Maybe a little bit of head pouring. I've never done any actual head pouring. I've done port matching on the intakes and exhausts and stuff. But maybe we can do a little basic head work. Hand lap the valves. Different springs. Of course, bigger cam. And see if maybe we'll take this thing when it's all put together, and I'll find somewhere that I can dyno it, and we'll throw it on the dyno for a couple of spins. We'll pick up a Chinese 4-barrel intake and a carburetor. I mean, I've got a few different old carburetors laying around, but we can always, find something. My kind of thought with the Chinesium stuff is, for the last couple of years, whenever I buy good quality, quotation marks, quality parts, they've been junk. So if I buy junk parts to begin with, is it going to hurt my feelings that they're junk and I save a bunch of money? Or they actually turn out to work just fine? I don't know. So that's kind of where I'm going. I don't want to spend $5,000 and build a motor. I would like to, when this is done, stick a flywheel on it and maybe put this in Swamp Thing, my old 72 Chevy 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive mud truck. Maybe, or maybe we find something else. But that's where I'm kind of thinking with this. Do as cheap as possible. You know, we don't have to spend a fortune on anything. A lot of it's just time and doing little things by hand. But, you know, figure out the cheapest way to go as far as the ignition, because these don't have a distributor. Put a 4-barrel intake on it. Then it eliminates all the fuel injection and the electrical and all the things that scare people about these LSs. And see, you know, how much of a budget we can do this thing on. I got a feeling I could come in under $2,000. And, you know, I've been looking online at crate motors, you know, for basic small block Chevs, like 390 horse, 350 with aluminum heads. They're running like $4,500 to $5,000. Well, if we can take a $100 LS, a little computer to control the ignition, and an intake and a 4-barrel set of headers and a cam and springs, maybe a set of stock pistons, and build a 400 or 500 horse modern small block, old school style. Who knows, maybe we'll even paint this thing Chevy orange. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Should we build this old school style as much as possible? I mean, we're not going to be able to put a distributor in this thing, obviously, but you know, get rid of the fuel injection thoughts and you know, do some old hot rodder stuff inside of it and see what we end up with. I don't know. That's kind of where I want to go with it. I would like to see your guys' input, see what you think we ought to do. Again, on a budget, minimal machine work. Hopefully it's all stuff that I can do at home here. And see what we can build. But that's where I'm at with this one, guys. Let me know. Put in the comments what you want to see out of this. And who knows? Maybe we get it together. It runs good. Maybe we throw some nitrous to it or something too. But that's my idea for it. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, it's enough out of me. I got other things I got to work on. And yeah. So anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to do with this so we can get going on it. And I'll do this one in this build. I'm going to do a step-by-step. Like, we'll pull it down in one video. We'll inspect everything in another video. You know, step by step by step. What are we going to do with the rods? What are we going to do with the pistons? Check the cylinders. Dingle ball hone the cylinders, so on and so forth. And just take our time with it so that it's all stuff that anybody at home can do to one of these motors. So, alright guys, enough out of me. Like, share, comment, subscribe, please. It's free, it doesn't cost you a thing. And really helps out the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Stay greasy, my friends.